Right, I've got to tell you this. Hello, it's Tim Shaw from Car SOS and other car shows and what have you, fifth gear and stuff. Look, I bought myself a car 2 weeks ago.
An unexpected accident at the height of his career and the conflicts behind the scenes of Car SOS turned Tim Shaw from a golden face on the screen into the center of fierce controversy. The person who was once considered the soul of the program, an icon associated with a series of classic car restorations.
You can already see sort of bubbles through here. Oh, we got lots of rot here. We've also got corroding petrol pipes as well.
Yeah. Look, have a look at that. That's your condition. It's called bits of iron oxide.
We don't know what sort of condition the welds are in, so we need to go through all of that.
But few people expected that behind that success was a series of tense and dramatic events with truths that shocked the public. The first shocking news came when a series of scandals related to Tim's personal life came to light. The press once recorded a quote said by a close friend, "Tim Shaw not only lost control at work, he also let everything personal slip away." Car SOS brought fame, but also made Tim the center of attention. The fatigue and pressure exposed cracks in the image that the audience once thought was perfect. Controversies surrounding his personal relationships became increasingly hot topics, not only in the media, but also in the work environment. One of the situations that made Tim Shaw's name synonymous with drama was the collapse of an important personal relationship. This not only changed the way he appeared in public, but also directly affected his psychology at work. Those pressures created a domino effect, leading to new conflicts in social relationships, and even within the production team. The tension was also revealed in the times when Tim made statements that were considered to be beyond the limit. The media once recorded a shocking statement: "I would rather face the cruel truth than continue to live with a fake image." The climax of the drama came from the fierce disagreements between Tim Shaw and some important members of the Car SOS crew. The heated debates, confirmed by many witnesses, surprised many viewers when they learned that the atmosphere behind the scenes was completely opposite to the humor and friendliness on screen. This contrast became a topic of discussion for a long time. He still appears in Car SOS, but not as fully as he did in the early days. Each time he appears, he becomes a symbol of both strength and vulnerability, showing that his fame is not enough to cover the growing cracks. In the years that followed, Tim's personal life continued to be the focus of attention. New relationships, lifestyle changes, and personal choices were all documented, creating a series of events that kept audiences constantly watching. These changes contributed to highlighting the image of Tim Shaw as a much more complex person than the public imagined. What is special about this period is the way he gradually rebuilt himself amidst the pressure that still surrounded him. Drama not only changed people's views of Tim, but also forced him to look back at himself. In the overall picture, those cracks and collisions became part of his definition, an inseparable part of the history of Tim Shaw. And, like a never-ending flow, that journey opens up to us another aspect. A seemingly invincible television career can also be shaken by personal events. After the shocks, Tim still continues to move forward, leaving behind many glorious and controversial marks. Rise and fall in the spotlight. Tim Shaw's appearance on Car SOS was considered a major turning point in his career. Before the show, Tim had experience with radio and television projects, but Car SOS was where he became a familiar face to millions of car lovers. His intelligence, quick conversation, and technical knowledge led him to the leading position with Fuzz Townshend. This was the period when his name was associated with creativity, enthusiasm, and an approachable style on television. The initial success propelled Tim Shaw into the ranks of widely recognized figures in the entertainment industry. Car SOS not only gave him the opportunity to assert himself, but also opened up many other contracts outside. His frequent media appearances made Tim an icon of a generation of car-related presenters. This was also the period when he received many positive reviews from experts for his ability to balance entertainment and professional knowledge. Even though the attention from the audience and the press also meant that every detail of Tim's life was under the lens. This pressure quickly revealed its downside. He began to face the stress of the heavy workload from filming to appearing at promotional events. The constant need to maintain a perfect image became a burden, and over time, Tim found it difficult to maintain the same pace as before. While many viewers still only see a cheerful and energetic Tim Shaw, on screen outside the screen is a series of challenging days. From having to constantly move irregular eating and sleeping, to having to meet a series of expectations from the crew and audience, all have created a spiral that makes Tim fall into a state of fatigue. This directly affects the balance between work and personal life, which has begun to falter from the events mentioned earlier. Car SOS continued to be successful, but Tim's mental stability was no longer stable. This was a period that saw a clear contrast between his brilliant achievements and his gradual emotional decline. Some sources have claimed that Tim's change in attitude led to a more tense production atmosphere, as his colleagues had to adjust their coordination to maintain progress. Tim's side projects also began to reflect this instability. Some promotional contracts signed when he was under pressure did not achieve the expected results. That made the once bright image of Tim Shaw begin to show signs of fading. This is clear evidence that the pressure of fame can quickly become a double-edged sword. Even though it is undeniable what Tim Shaw brought to Car SOS during its peak. The episodes he participated in were remembered by the audience for his humor, his ability to connect the story with each character, and the car they owned. That image is still engraved in the memory of many people and is also the reason why he remained on the program. But the turmoil. As his career entered an unpredictable phase, Tim had to adapt and make difficult choices to stay relevant. Continuing to appear regularly on Car SOS became an important option that allowed him to maintain his name and remind audiences of his presence on screen. At the same time, he also explored smaller projects and collaborations in order to expand his horizons and discover new directions. Some of these ventures achieved recognition, while others faded quickly, but each step demonstrated his determination to keep moving forward. This persistence highlighted not only his desire to protect the career he had built, but also his willingness to experiment and evolve within an industry that constantly demands reinvention. And as the spotlight slowly dimmed, Tim Shaw moved beyond his on-screen moments and opened up to the audience a different side of himself, where he had to face the consequences of fame head-on. It was from here that Tim's journey of self-reflection began to emerge more clearly. Life beyond the screen. In addition to his involvement with Car SOS, Tim Shaw has also been involved in a variety of activities to affirm his presence in many fields. He has taken on the role of host for entertainment programs on science, engineering, and community events. A prominent example is the series on invention skills, where he takes advantage of his engineering background to present visual experiments. These projects are considered necessary additions to his career, proving that he is not limited to the framework of a single television show. In the field of commercial collaboration, Tim Shaw has collaborated with major brands in automotive components and accessories. He directly participated in promotional campaigns, shared practical knowledge, and explained recycling or industrial innovation processes. This activity helped him expand his audience from entertainment fans to those interested in engineering and technology in real life. This is also how Tim created a unique position outside the scope of television. Tim Shaw's personal life is also notable. After many years of focusing on work, he began to spend more time with his family. Although he remains private in public, His charitable activities and fundraising campaigns show his priority for social responsibility. One of the most notable actions was Tim using his personal car as a fundraising item for an organization that supports rare diseases. This car later attracted thousands of participants, showing that his influence and personal appeal are still very large. In recent years, Tim Shaw has also dabbled in digital media platforms. Short-form video channels, live social media sessions, and partnerships with online media outlets have helped him reach a new generation of audiences. These content ranges from cars to tech tips to career journeys. His adaptation to digital trends shows that he understands the value of staying connected with his audience in a rapidly changing media landscape. Another aspect that has made a mark is Tim's regular attendance at international car events. He appears as a guest of honor, participates in new product launches, and sometimes directly demonstrates technical experiments. These appearances maintain a professional image, while also providing him with the opportunity to continue to bridge the gap between the engineering world and the general audience. These events demonstrate that he remains a respected figure in the automotive community. In addition to his main career, Tim also dedicates a significant amount of time to teaching and sharing his personal experiences with others. He has organized numerous talks and workshops that focus on developing creative skills, managing and overcoming the pressures that come with a demanding career, and finding practical ways to transform personal passion into meaningful work. Through these sessions, Tim does more than just provide advice. He offers valuable insights drawn from his own journey, giving audiences both motivation and tangible strategies to apply in their own lives. This approach has allowed him to inspire younger generations and professionals alike, while at the same time positioning himself as a respected and influential figure whose impact extends well beyond the boundaries of television and entertainment. But his many activities, Tim Shaw has maintained a focus on his core values. His passion for cars, his technical ingenuity, and his approachable storytelling remain his biggest marks in the public eye. These factors have helped him maintain his position even when Car SOS is no longer the only highlight of his career. The combination of television work, social activism, and personal business shows that Tim Shaw has built a multidimensional foundation. It is a testament to his adaptability and the ability to turn every opportunity into part of a long journey. This is also the reason why his name has maintained a steady interest from the audience, but the fluctuations that have occurred in his previous career. With this approach, Tim Shaw has created a unique image, familiar, fresh. He appears often enough to make audiences remember, but also knows how to innovate to keep curiosity. This shows that his journey outside the spotlight is just as attractive as the moments on camera. And it is from this diverse background that his career enters a new chapter where the concepts of stability and sustainability are put first. Trials and triumphs. Looking back at Tim Shaw's long career, it's easy to see that he has had his fair share of challenges and triumphs. A career in television brings fame and opportunity, but it also brings with it a lot of stress. Tim has faced stressful periods where work took up all his time and left a void in his personal life. At those times, balance became the biggest challenge he had to deal with. The first challenge came from the huge expectations placed on Tim Shaw. After becoming widely known, his every move was closely watched. Every project, every appearance was compared to previous successes. The pressure to maintain performance created a weight that not everyone could bear for long. Keeping the image fresh and attractive to the audience was also a silent burden. Tim Shaw's success stems from how he turned pressure into motivation. Instead of accepting defeat, he chose to experiment with different forms of expression, from television to live events. In this way, Tim proved that he could exist in many different environments, not dependent on a single platform. This is the key to maintaining his position for many years. Another challenge is the rapid change in the entertainment industry. Traditional channels are competing with online platforms, and this has left many established figures struggling to adapt. Tim Shaw is no exception, even though he has chosen to actively participate in online projects, leveraging social media to connect directly with his audience. This timely shift has helped him maintain public interest while opening up opportunities to reach a younger audience. In his turbulent journey, Tim Shaw has also achieved important victories. Some special programs he participated in received positive feedback and became memorable milestones. Charitable activities and community cooperation projects were also considered unexpected successes. They helped his image not only be associated with entertainment, but also reflect a sense of social responsibility. The mental health challenges are not to be overlooked. Although he rarely shares them publicly, the intense pressure of work and constant public scrutiny have led to difficult times for Tim. Overcoming these periods requires patience and emotional control. The greatest success in this context is that he has maintained a steady presence and not let his career slide. Meanwhile, another lasting achievement lies in Tim's commitment to the car enthusiast community. Over the years, he has been invited as a guest at major events, continuing to be a bridge between engineering and the general audience. This commitment affirms that his reputation and influence remain intact, regardless of time or surrounding fluctuations. Tim Shaw's trials and triumphs paint a picture of a man who has endured great pressure and has managed to pick himself up after every fall. His successes are not only reflected in viewership numbers or media contracts, but also in the fact that he has maintained the interest of the public and his colleagues. This is proof that his journey is not limited by any hardship. Tim Shaw's challenges and successes go hand in hand. They are not separate, but complement each other to create an image of a host who is both approachable and enduring. This is an important foundation that helps him continue to maintain his position and create a lasting impact in the entertainment industry. The unfinished legacy of Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw may be one of the most iconic faces of Car SOS, but his journey behind the spotlight has been fraught with controversy and conflict. Media reports have suggested that his television career was not limited to restoring classic cars, but involved complex professional relationships where trust and honor were constantly tested. Colleagues in the television industry have been open about their views on Tim. One producer put it bluntly, "Tim has a strange charisma, but also creates a lot of tension behind the scenes. It's that combination that makes everything so interesting." Remarkably, Tim did not disappear from public life, but instead appeared in various contexts. He was recognized at classic car events, occasionally participated in speeches, and left a strong impression. Short interviews in local newspapers described him as a person who always said exactly what he thought without evasion or beating around the bush. This directness only made the debate surrounding his name more heated. At the same time, some articles analyzed that Tim's career clearly reflected the negative side of reality television. As the show became more famous, the pressure on his personal image became heavier. Internal sources confirmed that he repeatedly disagreed with the crew about how to build the script, especially in details that were overly dramatized. Maintaining his own stance made the relationship between Tim and the crew more tense than ever. Even though facing many mixed opinions, the audience still remembers him as a symbol of passion for cars. Major fan pages once posted, "It is undeniable that mentioning Car SOS is mentioning Tim Shaw. Love him or hate him, he is still a part of the show's history." This is the clearest proof that Tim has left a mark that surpasses all controversies. Outside of television, Tim's life is also often in the spotlight. He appears in community activities, especially in charity projects related to children and technical education. His presence at these events shows another side, where Tim wants to prove that his image is not only associated with television drama. Some articles describe him as someone who chose to stay quiet in the face of turmoil and focus on more useful things. Although he doesn't speak much, his every move is closely monitored by the media. This makes the story about Tim even more tense because every time he appears, social media explodes with comments. From an audience perspective, Tim Shaw is both an icon and a question mark. Car SOS fans still cling to him through memories of his hugely successful episodes, but also closely follow the latest developments in his personal life. The mix of his illustrious past and his dramatic present creates an inseparable picture. Importantly, the stories about Tim Shaw have not died down. They have continued to circulate and evolve in their own way, picking up new layers as time goes on. He has grown into a striking example of how a television figure can move far beyond the screen and secure a lasting place in collective memory. His presence is not just remembered, but constantly reinterpreted, keeping his name alive in conversations long after the cameras stopped rolling. It is this unique charisma, the ability to remain relevant even when out of sight, that ensures every piece of news connected to Tim receives extraordinary attention and resonates so strongly with audiences everywhere. Looking back at Tim Shaw's journey, it can be seen that he not only left his mark through Car SOS, but also created a story with many layers of meaning, about passion, conflict, and even challenging choices behind the TV lights. What surrounds him continues to arouse curiosity, and there will certainly be many things that make the audience talk in the future. If you feel that today's story brings you a new perspective, please leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Don't forget to share the video with friends who share the same passion, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next stories. It is your companionship that motivates us to continue bringing more attractive content.